Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's edition of Internet Lead Generation. This month, it's your brand on social media in the portals. Thank you for joining us, and let's jump right in. And to start, let's revisit what we had last month. What is Internet Lead Generation? A purposeful strategy to promote your brand and drive consumers to you online. That's at the very beginning. And we must start at the beginning because technology is changing at an increasingly rapid pace. We no longer categorize buyers and sellers according to whether or not they use the internet because everyone is there. So what do we comprise this of? It's a combination of brand and strategy. And we're going to go through these models over the next 6 weeks. Last month, we talked about really why brand is so extremely important and how you can make more money from having a nice, solid, consistent brand, and what we've learned from a lot of the brick and mortar companies that have transitioned to a strong brick and mortar and digital brand experience. So this month, what we're going to focus on is social media and your brand, as well as the portals and your brand. Let's see what you're saying. So if you look at the top 16 largest websites in the US, according to Alexa: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram. Remember, these are the largest sites people are looking at. Now, we're going to focus on those that are in the top 10. So we'll focus on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn today. And before we even jump into that, stop and think to yourself for 1 second to remember your big picture, your big strategy. What goal do you want to accomplish by using social media? Are you trying to increase your listings per month? Add a certain amount to your bottom line from referrals? Increase the number of buyers you work with per month? Is there a niche you're looking for? So as we go through the best ways to maximize these to establish your brand, always think back, what's my big goal? Because at the end of the day, while today we're going to talk about 3 tools in particular, remember, the tools might change, but who you are and what you do always remains the same. So keep that in mind as we walk through this series. And as we always talk about with social media, it's really important to talk about our current social media beliefs. There are a lot of myths out there, and that can be holding you back from expanding and making the most out of your social media experience. So let's jump in. My favorite one, which is the most prevalent that I hear, is, I'm not a techie. Well, the reality is that your social media success will be empowered by your strategic skills, not your technology skills. You are a born networker, and that's what social media helps support. So if you stop and think about this, who's accessing this from your smartphone as you're watching this today? Are you using your technology in your personal and professional lives every day? So you don't have to understand how it's all built, but in order to use it, that's the same thing as social media today. So myth number 2, this is a big one as well. Social media is a big time waster. In reality, you can see returns in your business with 15 to 20 minutes per day. And it's not going to be a time waster if you are purposeful about it. If you create a schedule, you're intentional about what information you share with your audience, that means that you are networking. You're not working. So keep that in mind and go back to your big goal. So myth number 3, I can't be interesting all the time. Remind this of yourself. You don't have to be interesting. Just be interested. Just like you do as you built your business today, being a powerful networker, you're interested in listening to cues from other people. That's what you do on social media as well. Okay, now, myth number 4, I need to be everything to everyone. You don't. You aren't today. You don't need to be on social media. You need to be something to someone. Just think about how you approach your business in the real world. You specialize. You focus on first-time home buyers, families, condos, certain neighborhoods, downsizers. So don't try to be everything to everyone in the real world. So don't try to be everything to everyone in the digital world either. As I said in the beginning, right when this is done, stop for a second. Go back, write down your goal. That will help you with how to be something to someone. All right, so let's jump in. Let's talk Facebook first. Number 2 most trafficked site. So what do you use Facebook for? Keeping up with friends and family, advertising, event planning, closed groups, networking. I bet a lot of people are getting ready for family reunion this weekend. Are you communicating with those that you're going to be seeing at family reunion via Facebook? During Facebook, you'll be sharing a lot of information with those who aren't able to attend and join us this weekend. Because the overall tone of Facebook, it's community. It's about building relationships and connecting with people. And often that's in a very personal way, reconnecting with old friends, and often it's also in a professional way, sharing information that is of value about a subject that you are an expert in. Okay, so my tips for how to build your brand on Facebook reflect that tone of looking at a mix of between the two. So let's take establishing your brand first. The first tip, keep your profile up to date. This is going to be a recurring theme throughout all of our session today, is to update that profile. You are your brand, so make sure you update your cover photo, and if you change your hair, change your profile picture, update that information. Make sure that when someone has looked you up and has seen you on social media and on your Facebook page and you look nothing like that picture, we really want those to match who you currently are. Make sure that your job experience and education information is up to date. This will help you connect with a lot more people. For example, those that you went to school with, those that you worked with before. You'll automatically be included in those networks to be able to connect with those folks. And Facebook is a place to show you, so you don't want to keep it 100% professional. In fact, you'll notice as we move on to that, my profile picture on Facebook is actually not my headshot. You're going to see a much more personal look about me on Facebook because it's how I build a lot of my personal connections. Now you'll see there's also Facebook subdomains. So it allows you to set your own Facebook subdomain. Mine is facebook.com/Carrie Sylvester, so that users can visit it and directly access your Facebook page. So if you haven't set yours yet, visit facebook.com/username. That's what you can now use in your marketing materials. So what type of information should you be putting on your Facebook page? Well, as I said, the tone of Facebook is not 100% professional. So I recommend following the 80-20 rule. 80% of your social media posts should be non-self-promoted content. That means stuff about you or your friends or other things that are happening. It should be entertaining, social, enjoyable. It should be things that they can relate to and get to know you. People don't come to Facebook to be sold to. They use it to socialize. So include photos from your travels. I love these. Thank you, Sue Adler, to be able to actually show that her visit to Chicago with her daughter. What a great trip, and it shows the personal side of Sue. You can show your struggles of life with kids. For all of us who have kids, you understand what I'm talking about. We can all sympathize. Cheering for our favorite sports teams. There we go. Thank you, computer issue. Cheering for our favorite sports teams. I know my feed was definitely all for the Denver Broncos yesterday. Go Super Bowl. All right. Heck, you can even incorporate family into business, like Tim Heil, who had his daughter make a cameo in his Google Hangout. Check this out. Come hang out with me. In Hangout in 10 minutes, my daughter Annabelle will be streaming live with us for the first few minutes. So you're really blending that world between the personal and your business. Now, the remaining 20% of your posts can be business related. They should be business related. But remember, when you post about your business, make sure it is interesting information that adds value. Make sure it's about things that those customers or those people that you're connected with on Facebook would want to hear about. Interesting stats on the market that you see, your interpretation, and very unique home that you just saw. What makes that unique? So don't just post information, make it something that your audience will find value in. Because Facebook is more about friendships and relationships than about business. So always keep that in mind and offering the value. So let's talk about interesting content. What makes something interesting? Well, Facebook posts with interesting visuals get the maximum amount of engagement. Engagement is that distribution of your brand to an even larger audience. If you're establishing your brand, you want someone to see your information and repost it. Now it's connected and establishing your brand with people who aren't even in your own network. So I love this one from Chad Himes. Are you open to learning something today with a great visual? If you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you're determined to learn, no one can stop you. That would be great engagement with his audience. So you can use images to motivate, encourage followers, promote a charity event. This was our Southwest Market Center of painting the town red for their annual fall food drive. A great visual display that was shared quite a few times. Okay. You can link to an interesting post on your blog. Look at Lori Ballins of a great picture of a dog that catches your attention about the most ridiculously fabulous blog post ever. A great combination of visual and great content to be able to attract the attention of her followers. So anything you want to grab their attention and make them want to click to learn more. Okay. So remember, Facebook is fun. It's all about the relationships and engaging, and it serves as the perfect opportunity to show the other side of your business. You know, if you're attending trainings, post about it. Look at this, looking forward to Bold Journey. Thank you for the pumpkin spice lattes at break time. Talking about how you're actually building your professional self is a great thing to post about for referrals, for your fellow realtors, as well as for your customers to see how much you've invested in your career as well. If your team does something amazing, call them out on it. Thank your team. I love the Papasan group when they were showcasing what their Vision 2016 boards, their planning process was. It showed a really good insight into the back office of how their team runs and operates. She thanked one of their great agents who had just sold a house. So it's a great way to really kind of get people to understand you and your company that much better. If you're out of the office attending an interesting event or doing a team bonding celebration, share those. Best places to work that came from for the Austin area. Great photos and videos of why Keller Williams was voted the best place to work. So take your followers behind the scenes. It's all a part of who you are. Oh, and by the way, great tip for you, keep those posts short and sweet. Add those visuals, keep it short and sweet. That's how you engage them. Now let's talk about on Facebook, a business page. So think of a business page as a profile for your business. You need a profile picture and a cover photo, plus you post updates and add photos, etc. Now, you must have a personal profile in order to create a business page, but what you share on your business page will not show on your personal profile, and what you share on your personal profile won't be shown on your business page. Some unique features: you can schedule posts under the activity tab. It's a great way to actually schedule out and time block your time. Insights: you can keep track of what posts are successful and who is connecting with your page, where they're from, what time they're online. These will help you with future posts. So this is going to be 100% about your business that helps bring more information out to your audience. Think of it as a microsite you can use for commercial purposes to directly engage with customers. Okay. All right, so that's Facebook. Let's jump over to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has 107 million US-based users. It is one of the most popular social networks for both professionals and just overall. Now, the tone of LinkedIn is absolutely professional. Think of it as your online resume. And so my tips for how to build your brand on LinkedIn reflect that tone. So first, of course, as we always start, let's take a look at your profile. Keep your resume up to date so that your LinkedIn profile stays up to date as well. This is the area where you really want to brag on yourself. When you receive awards in the local market, when you are added to the Associate Leadership Council, make sure and add that on there. Show your involvement. If you sit on the board of directors for a charitable community in your area, make sure and update that information. And you can update your profile photo and your cover photo to make your LinkedIn page not only professional, but really visually pleasing. So let's talk about interesting content for LinkedIn. Posting on LinkedIn is extremely easy. From your profile page, select View More, and then select Posts. You can add a great visual cover photo, a catchy title, and share the knowledge and wisdom that you have with your followers. Now, don't be afraid to be vulnerable with your followers. They want to get to know the real you. Now, LinkedIn Pulse is the blogging platform within LinkedIn. www.linkedin.com/pulse, P-U-L-S-E, where you can browse through top posts as well as specific categories like real estate, leadership, technology, or by following various LinkedIn influencers such as Bill Gates, Arianna Huffington, Deepak Chopra, and many more. I actually receive a Pulse email every day, and I always find one or two really interesting articles that I want to read before I start my day every day. Now, you can also share content from your own blog on LinkedIn. When you post in LinkedIn, it shows up in your followers' homepage, but can also be accessed in LinkedIn Pulse. So make sure that it's real, it's interesting, and it's valuable information that you are sharing with your audience. This is a great opportunity to show your business acumen. This is where you can write tips about first time you're buying a house, navigating some of the new rules and regulations, evaluating a house that's for an investment purposes. A great way to share that knowledge and expertise that you have. All right, so now you have to give in order to get on LinkedIn as well. So when you set up your profile, you can select different skills that you have, such as leadership, contract negotiation, team building. Now your connections can then endorse you for those skills, and it shows up on your profile in that section. You can then also endorse other folks as well. And it helps strengthen your connections with that person when you do that, and it helps increase your visibility because recommendations show up in the individual's profile with your name and information. So you can endorse people as well as you can actually write a recommendation. The more recommendations you give, the more recommendations that you'll get. It's a great way to have other people talk about you and establish your brand. Okay, now let's talk about Twitter. They call Twitter a microblog, which essentially is like short messages shared with the world. Many people use Twitter as a news source, and users can discover interesting people and events through hashtags and searches. But it can also be a marketing tool used to promote products and services. Now let's first start with your profile. Don't be an egg. That's my advice for Twitter. Update your Twitter page with a current photo and make sure you have at least a header color, if not a header photo. This makes sure that we're not a wonderful Twitter egg. So that's step number one. Now, let's talk about how to use hashtags on Twitter. A hashtag makes it easier for potential clients to find you. It's easier to tag your posts and connect them to the larger conversation. But you don't want your hashtag to take up all the characters of your tweet. You only have 140 characters total. Let's not use 100 of them on your hashtag. So for example, during the President's State of the Union speech, rather than hashtag State of the Union, users used hashtag SOTU. It's short, it's sweet, and it allows your tweet to be more than just a single hashtag. But before creating your own hashtag that might get buried in the Twittersphere, search for an existing hashtag that people are already engaging and use that search Twitter bar at the top of your page. Now, the whole point of Twitter is to really get retweeted, especially in establishing your brand. Because when your tweet is retweeted by others, it's like free marketing. Your name, your content, and you are promoted in front of an entirely new audience. So let's talk about the best tactics to get retweeted. So first, share facts and figures. Build your credibility and prove to your audience that you are the real estate expert. So look at this one from what Chris Heller tweeted. Gary Keller had vision found in the world's largest real estate franchise in Austin, and actually showed the markets to watch and information about it, which showed how he's staying abreast and what we're interested in. Okay, we want to share important information. October, this month in real estate shows the national median home price for existing homes decreased $228,700. That's great information for your clients. Plus, you can link to content posted on your website, your blog, or your Facebook page. Sometimes I like to think of Twitter as where I actually can help link and promote all of my other sources together. But remember to mix up your content. Be very purposeful about tweets, retweets, live tweets, and replies. And anytime you're hosting events or attending trainings, making an appearance at another business, it's the perfect opportunity to share with your followers. So what else will grab attention to get retweeted? First, add images. Tweets with images are 2 times more likely to get engagement than those without. Now look at this. It looks like Chris Heller is ready, set, go for this weekend's Gazelle Foundation Run for the Water. All right, that caught a lot of attention. Now look at this one. Test this live streaming at Google Hangout training tomorrow with KW Video. So it was a great photo of what we were actually doing to grab people's attention. Here's a great one with from Lori Ballin on the motivational quotes. She didn't just post the quote, but she actually had a picture of it. It's a beautiful thing when a career and a passion come together. That caught people's attention, was most likely retweeted with the Ballin brand right included in the image. Like from Ben Kinney, from my mind to the whiteboard, to programming to a product world domination. What's yours? Gives great insight, catches some great attention. So next tip, keep those tweets short. What's the magic number? Research has shown that tweets with 100 to 110 characters get the highest engagement. So just because you can use 140 characters doesn't mean you should. Now our last piece, let's talk about your brand and your profile on the portals. We're not going to go in detail on their ratings and reviews. Let's talk about how you really represent yourself on the portals. Because we know that consumers begin their home search online and must choose to start their search on a syndication, and some choose to start their search on a syndication portal. So what's the most important thing you can do on these search portals to really reflect that brand? Remember, this section is all about brand. So first, regardless of your philosophy on the site, I would claim those free profiles. Make sure that you have a consistent photo, a consistent headshot, and include your background information. Just like on LinkedIn, these are very professional profiles. Highlight, brag on yourself, show why you are the most qualified real estate expert in their market. The search portals are just another space to advertise yourself and the amazing service that you provide to your clients. So you can see we have nice consistency here on Zillow, on Trulia. We have on Realtor.com. So really making sure that we're projecting that image about who we are, what we're doing on every place where a consumer is going to find you. We know that 70% of this business is through referrals, but what we also know is that even when someone gets a referral, they're searching online and looking at that brand and validating, what does that brand tell me about that person? My brother may have given me the referral and I've heard his perspective. I want to hear what his brand is telling me and what other folks are telling me about them. So that's why it's so important to establish that brand and that tone throughout social media and on the portals. So that was branding your social media channels. Now, next month, on March 14th, join us for the third in our series on branding, where we're going to dive deep into ratings and reviews and really how you can have your customers tell your story, explain your brand, and really help sell your services to their network. And then weeks 4, 5, and 6 will all focus on your strategy with April 11th, search engine optimization, May 9th, paid traffic, advertising and lead sources, and June 13th, converting and closing those leads. So thank you for joining this month on internet lead generation, branding through your social media channels, and we will see you next month, March 14th, for branding, ratings, and reviews. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.